If you're like me, you've probably wasted a lot of money on Riftbound cards, and trust me, I've stood there with the empty shelves, overpaying for packs, and making costly mistakes that drain my wallet faster than a Snorlax empties a refrigerator. After spending way too much money learning the hard way, I figured out how to exactly shop for Riftbound cards without breaking the bank. So in this complete guide, I'll show you every place that I've found Riftbound cards, how to get the best prices, and most importantly, how to avoid the expensive mistakes that I made when I first started. Whether you're building your first deck or you're a seasoned player looking to optimize your spending, this video should hopefully transform how you approach buying Riftbound cards as a beginner. So let's dive in. Now let's start with the most obvious places, major retail stores. Now this is coming from a playable standpoint than a collector standpoint, although I am currently collecting a lot of overnumbered cards. For the past few months, I've been playing and collecting Riftbound, and finding these cards at major retailers has been quite the adventure. I've been able to find Riftbound sleeve packs at MSRP in the following places. You have Best Buy, Target, Barnes & Noble, and Walmart. Now here's the thing though. If you're lucky, you'll even find a pre-constructed deck and sleeved booster packs. I've personally found these in the card aisle of these stores, not behind customer service like Pokemon cards often are. This is actually a blessing because it means you don't have to deal with the let me check the back routine that a lot of Pokemon card collectors know all too well. Now the keyword here is if you're lucky. Riftbound isn't quite as widely distributed as Pokemon, so finding it on shelves does require a bit more persistence and patience. I've had success checking these stores regularly, especially on weekdays when restocks are more likely to happen. But here's where it gets interesting. Not all major retailers are created equal when it comes to Riftbound availability. Next, you have the online retail versions of these stores, and honestly, this is where I've had the most consistent success. Personally, I've only been able to order Riftbound products online successfully from both Target and Best Buy. From Target, I was blessed to grab Spirit Forge construction decks, and then from Best Buy, I was able to order Spirit Forge and Origins booster packs. The strategy here is simple but requires patience. I honestly just check the apps every now and then and see if I can actually order a booster pack. With Best Buy, I've been getting lucky online on their app, often more than their in-store purchasing. There's something about their online inventory system that seems to randomly restock Riftbound more regularly than the physical locations. It's like that they have a secret stash that only the website knows about. The beauty of online shopping for Riftbound is that you can set up notifications or just make it part of your routine to check the apps on these sites. It sure does beat driving to multiple stores only to find empty shelves. Now, in addition to these online stores, Riot, the actual Riftbound website, they tend to hold raffles or pre-sales for upcoming release set products. So just recently, there was a raffle for Unleashed, which is the third set in Riftbound. They recently sent emails to people to actually pre-purchase booster boxes, sleeve packs, and actually pre-constructed decks for the Unleashed set. So in addition to shopping on these online sites, make sure you stay up to date with the pre-orders for upcoming new Riftbound sets. But when online fails you, there's still another option that many players overlook. Now, after major retailers, you have your local card stores, and this is where things get really interesting. You can use the Riftbound website to actually locate a store near you that sells Riftbound cards, which is incredibly helpful. Now for my area, I'd say about 75% of the local card stores in my area sell Riftbound product, but here's the crucial part. I highly recommend that you compare prices. The price differences can be shocking, and the cheapest that I've been able to find Riftbound packs is $12.99 for Origins and $6.99 for Spirit Forge packs. Right down the street from this store is another local card store that sells packs for $14.99 for Origins and $12.99 for Spirit Forge packs. That's quite a big difference when you're buying multiple packs, and at local card stores, you'll also be able to buy booster boxes which contain 24 packs if they have them in stock. Again, make sure you compare prices because in my area, I've been able to find booster boxes as high as $200 for Spirit Forge, and then as low as $150 for a Spirit Forge booster box at another store. The markup at local card shops can be significant, but there's value beyond just the cards themselves that we'll talk about in just a moment. Now with local card stores, also ask if they have a singles or bulk boxes for Riftbound cards. These are an absolute goldmine for helping build your deck, and honestly, this might be the best kept secret in Riftbound shopping. In my area, there are card stores that actually give you free bulk cards, which is incredible. It really helps make the card game a lot more affordable, especially when you're just starting out and need to fill out your deck with playable cards. On the other hand, another card store in my area charges $1 per bulk card that you want from their bulk box. It's not ideal, but the reality is that it's still only $1, and sometimes that dollar gets you exactly what you need to complete your deck. So again, make sure that you ask around. Every store has different policies, and some are much more generous than others when it comes to helping new players build their collections and decks. The bulk boxes are particularly valuable because Riftbound is primarily a game you play and not just collect. Every card has potential value in some deck, and so what might be the bulk to one player could be a key piece for your strategy in your deck. Now this next option is more of a gamble, but there are a few Rift Till You Hit streams on Whatnot that open Riftbound packs. They're priced pretty highly compared to local card store prices, but they're entertaining and they're fun to watch. Although I wouldn't recommend this route if you're on a tight budget and need specific cards, there's something to be said for the entertainment value. It's like going to a casino, you're paying for the experience as much as the potential rewards. These streams can be educational too, but if you're looking for the most cost-effective way to get specific cards, there are much better options. Now the next place to shop for Riftbound cards is through OfferUp and Facebook Marketplace. At least in my area, I've been able to find Origins booster boxes for as low as $300 and Spirit Forge booster boxes for as low as $140. I've been able to find Origins packs for $12 and Spirit Forge booster packs for $6.50. Again, this varies from area to area, but hopefully this gives you a rough estimate of what you can get sealed product for on third-party marketplaces. The key here is patience and knowing what fair market prices look like. I found that people selling on these platforms often don't know the exact market value of what they have, which can work in your favor, but it could also work against you if you don't do your homework first. Always check recent sold listings on eBay or TCG Player before making offers on Facebook Marketplace or OfferUp. Knowledge is power in these negotiations, and knowing what cards actually sell for will help you spot both good deals and overpriced listings. Now, in addition to OfferUp and Facebook Marketplace, you also have local Facebook and Discord groups, which usually have some buy, sell, trade channels. This has been a great area for me to buy singles for my decks that I'm creating. In my local Discord group, I can make a thread about which cards I need for my deck, and I usually get 2 to 3 people who reach out to me within 24 hours saying that they have the cards that I need. It's like having a personal shopping network of fellow players. The community aspect of Riftbound shopping can't be overstated. These aren't just transactions, they're somewhat of like relationship building opportunities. The person who sells you your cards today might be your testing partner for tomorrow at your next Nexus night, or they might give you a heads up when they spot a good deal in local card stores. Plus, buying from community members often means better prices than retail. It means faster transactions than online marketplaces, and the peace of mind that comes from dealing with people who actually play the game and understand card conditions. Now, another way to shop for Riftbound cards actually doesn't involve shopping at all, but it involves attending local card store Nexus nights. To my surprise while playing the game, there were a lot of players who are willing to give cards away for free to help your deck out. Make connections, a lot of players have bulk boxes that they will let you look through, and quite likely, they will just give you the cards for free from their bulk box. Me in particular, because I got started playing during Spirit Forge, I've been having a hard time finding Origins bulk for the cards that I need for my deck. But luckily, I've come across a few players who would gladly let me look through their bulk box and grab cards for free. I overall think that certain players of Riftbound just want more players to play with, so whatever it takes to get people to stay, which may mean giving away their bulk, that's an easy price to pay in order to get a new player hooked onto the game. This generosity isn't unique to Riftbound, but it seems especially prevalent in this community. Maybe it's because the game is still growing and players understand the importance of helping newcomers get established. The social aspect of Nexus Nights goes beyond just getting free cards too. You'll learn about deck building, discover new strategies, and find out about upcoming releases or local tournaments. It's like getting a masterclass in Riftbound while building your collection. Now, one thing I've learned about shopping for Riftbound cards is that timing matters more than you might think. Unlike Pokemon, where major releases happen on predictable schedules, Riftbound releases can be a bit more sporadic. New set releases are your best opportunity to find products at MSRP, but they're also when demand is highest. I've found that waiting about 2 to 3 weeks after a new set drop often results in better availability and sometimes even slight discounts at the initial hype after it dies down. Conversely, if you're looking for older sets like Origins, you might want to buy sooner rather than later. As sets go out of print, even though there was a new restock announced, prices might increase, especially for popular cards or playable cards or sealed product. Also keep an eye out on rotation announcements too. when cards rotate out of competitive play, which hasn't been announced yet, their prices are going to drop significantly, which can be great for casual players or collectors who don't need the latest tournament legal cards. Now, before you start shopping seriously, you do need to understand how Riftbound card values work. There are card values often driven by collectability and nostalgia. Riftbound values are sometimes driven by playability. This means that a card's price can fluctuate based on how in demand it is for playability, meta shifts, and new card interactions. A card that's like 20 bucks today might be worth like 50 bucks in the next coming weeks if it becomes part of a winning tournament deck. For singles, I recommend checking multiple sources: TCG Player for market prices, eBay sold listings for actual data, and local Facebook groups for community pricing. Don't rely on just one source though, because prices can vary significantly between platforms. Overnumbered cards and alternate arts follow a different pricing pattern, often holding value better than the regular versions because of their collectible appeal. If you're interested in both playing and collecting, these premium versions might be worth the extra investment. Now, here's what I've learned about developing a sustainable Riftbound shopping strategy. Start with a budget and stick to it. It's really easy to get caught up on the excitement of new releases or the fear of missing out on good deals. Prioritize your needs. Are you building a specific deck? Then focus on getting those specific cards first before branching out onto other strategies or decks. Are you collecting? Decide whether you want to focus on specific sets, champions, or card types. Don't ignore the secondary market either, but be smart about it. Some of my best deals have come from Facebook Marketplace and local groups, but I've also seen people get burned by paying too much for a card that all of a sudden just dropped in price. Consider the total cost of ownership too. That $100 booster box might seem expensive, but if it gives you enough cards to build multiple decks, it might be cost effective than just buying singles for just one deck. Now, if you're planning to play competitively, your shopping strategy needs to account for the tournament meta and cost as well. This means staying up to date with winning deck lists and understanding which cards are seeing the most play. However, don't chase every meta shift. The competitive scene is still evolving, and what's dominant today might be irrelevant next month. Focus on building solid, consistent decks rather than trying to have every possible meta option. Consider proxying expensive cards online before you actually buy them in order to test them. Many local groups allow proxies for casual play, which lets you test strategies without committing to expensive purchases. For collectors, Riftbound offers some unique opportunities. The overnumbered cards and alternate arts provide that premium collecting experience, while the regular cards serve gameplay functions. For Riftbound collecting, you might want to focus on specific champions, card types, or artistic treatments. This can actually make collecting more affordable because you're not trying to collect everything all at once. I personally think the artwork in Riftbound is genuinely impressive, and the alternate art treatments feel premium in a way that justifies their higher prices. If you're coming from Pokemon collecting, you'll definitely appreciate the quality and attention to detail. Now, let me share some mistakes that I made early on that cost me money. First, I bought expensive singles before understanding how to use them within my deck. That's like $40 to $60 of worthless cards if it doesn't fit your playstyle or deck strategy. Second, I focused too much on individual card prices and not enough on total deck cost. Building a competitive deck isn't just about getting the most expensive cards in that deck, it's about getting the right combinations of cards that work cohesively together. Third, I didn't take advantage of the community resources available. The Riftbound community has been pretty helpful within my area, but you have to engage with it to benefit from that help. The Riftbound market is still developing, which creates both opportunities and challenges for shoppers. Prices are less established than in older games like Pokemon, which means that you might find great deals, but you also might overpay if you're not careful. Stay connected with the community, keep track of your local card store's restocking patterns, and don't be afraid to ask questions. The Riftbound community wants new players to succeed, and most people are happy to help newcomers navigate the shopping landscape. Whether you're building your first deck or expanding into an existing collection, smart shopping will help you get more value from every dollar spent. The game is worth the investment, but only if you're investing wisely. And remember that the best Riftbound collection isn't necessarily the most expensive one, it's the one that helps you enjoy the game and connect with the community. So shop smart, play often, and welcome to Riftbound.